Fucking hell! Holy shit, how good was that trailer? So the War of the Spark trailer dropped during a small tournament at PAX East on the War of the Spark panel. Oh, and by the way, Legacy Video enthusiast Andrea Mangucci won the Mythic Invitational, winning $250,000. Also, Legacy was mentioned in his exit ending interview as he got his trophy. Well, he was asked about Legacy, then he said how he's going to buy some vintage cards, but I'll take it. I'll take anything. Have an advocate for the Eternal formats like Mangucci winning at such a high level and being part of the MPL is nothing but upside. Anyway, so here we have it. I hate to use the word, but we have the most epic of trailers that Wizards have ever put out. We had the really bad sort of CGI Khans of Tarkir trailer a little while back. It was cool, but as you can see, Sarkhan looks a bit shit in this trailer. We have never really had animation like this. And since Khans of Tarkir, the animation used to bring existing card art to life has gotten cooler and cooler and better with each trailer, and the trailers have been cool, but this time we had a full CGI trailer showing some of our favourite characters brought to life, or perhaps dying. Dramatic pause for effect. Initially, I was jokingly going to do a trailer reaction video. I just sat and watched the trailer on camera for 2 minutes or whatever it is, and then just turned to the camera and go, oh, that was cool at the end. But even I know that even jokingly, isn't very compelling content. Even Rudy over at Alpha Investments is on the hype train making sensationalist titles for his videos. I mean, who would do a thing like that? I'm not going to give you a full play-by-play of the trailer on screen because you've probably already seen the trailer, but I'm going to give you the cliff notes so we can discuss it. Trailer review. Trailer review. It doesn't really work with 3 syllables, does it? Trailer review. Trail review. Liliana is burning, logo, soft and somber version of Linkin Park's In the End plays in the background, shot of Bolus looking particularly badass, Gideon is assaulted by a large group of angry men, time is flying backwards, keep this in mind, this will become important later, Liliana is casting spells and commanding the Eternals to do what they're doing, note the purple eyes, Liliana magic, Dak Faden appears to get wrecked, time still flows backwards, Liliana sees young girl trying to save what could be her son or most likely brother and failing. Again, make note, this is important. Flash to forward motion, music crescendos, Gideon gets assaulted by some angry men. Liliana stops, focuses on child's hand beneath rubble, looks at pedicure on hand. She gets emotional, which is, I'm not gonna lie, I got emotional too, this is fucking badass. And she commands the Eternals to ignore Gids, attack Bolus. Her curse-illuminated tattoos begin to burn. Bolus gets angry, Liliana gets angrier. Magic fans everywhere collectively lose their shit at how fucking awesome this is. She screams, end. Right, let's unpack some of this, shall we? It appears that Liliana has a change of heart because she recognises her own plight in the sister trying to save her brother narrative that we get in the trailer. Don't forget her origin story is that she tried to save her brother from death and inadvertently turned him into a zombie like you do. Relatable content. And that's what launched her on her journey, ignites her spark and gets her, you know, in with all the bad crowd. She's hanging out with demons that her mum was like, don't you hang around with those demons, they'll get you smoking crack. And before she knew it, she was smoking crack. Doing anything for $1. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Let's try again. This is emotional, resonating, and rather clever storytelling using plot threads and origin information that has been set up over years of storytelling, and I am all about that as I punch my microphone and make a noise. I'm sorry. Wizards, give me more of this. Dak's death is a weird one. I feel like he hasn't had much time or chance to develop lately, not since the comics got discontinued, and having him bite the dust in the trailer of all things is a little bit insulting to Dak fans. But let's be real, if they want to raise the stakes in this trailer especially, which let's be honest, is a big reveal for them. This is like a big twist. We were not expecting a cinematic trailer for War of the Spark. If they want to elevate the levels of threat, they need to kill someone, and it needs to be someone hero-aligned, probably, to show that all bets are off. I can't really think of a hero-aligned Planeswalker they could have killed that wouldn't have been a bit dishonest and unfair because they've only just come about, like Vivian, for example, or that wouldn't have pissed some people off. So Dak got it, although we're not sure if he got it because we saw it in the reverse timeline, and then when he go to forward time, we don't see him bite it. So is that the stuff being undone? I would hope not, because that's kind of weird that it was happened off screen, that he's saved by some sort of time wizardry. I'll come to that in a moment. Gideon stands against Liliana as expected. I mean, Gideon is pretty fucking mad at Bolas after the shit that went down on Amonkhet. But upon a change of heart, she stops trying to murder the indestructible Chad and sends her forces towards Nicol Bolas up this fucking pyramid-like Death Star thing that's just appeared in the middle of Ravnica. The trailer culminates and peaks and crescendos with that like guttural, gut-wrenching roar or scream from Liliana. Whoever did the voice acting for that in the trailer, you fucking nailed it. I cannot convey how much I think that scream and that moment in the trailer pulls the whole thing together. Without that, if it was more of a lame or cringeworthy or slightly cheesy scream that didn't fit the rest of the trailer, it could well have brought the whole thing down like a house of cards. Is that the right metaphor I want to use? Like a load of bricks, like a ton of bricks. No, hang on, wait. It could have made the trailer just not work. Now the important bit, the whole time flowing backwards thing. To be honest, before I came to the conclusion that I'm about to give you, I thought the backwards time travel thing was a bit weak. It was kind of a gimmick that's like almost emulating trailers like the Dead Island trailer, for example, back in the day, where we've got like reverse tragic acts happening and we didn't necessarily need that. In some ways, the reverse imagery thing in slight slow motion also gives more room for storytelling to breathe and gives us time for the visual storytelling to sort of get to where it needs to go and us to focus on the development of these narrative strands within the trailer. But you can just fucking do that with slow motion, so I don't think it needs to go backwards in time for that to work. However, then Rob tweeted out about Teferi using his wobbly wibbly woo powers to manipulate time in some of the cards from the set, and then Twitter user Mr. Tofu pointed out that he believed that the trailer was showing us Teferi might be capable of using his time powers to attack Bolas. Keep in mind that the card Rob was tweeting about was Time Wipe and how it portrayed Teferi dispatching weaker enemies by simply having them never born in the first place. Perhaps Teferi's time-related powers will have more of an effect on this set than we first thought. Perhaps he will use a Groundhog Day-style repetition to break Liliana out of her Bolas-induced walking coma and awaken her to the atrocities that she is committing on Ravnica. Or perhaps that's less blunt and explicit than that, and the time backwards-forwards thing is a reference or Easter egg or foreshadowing of Teferi doing something with the time streams. I'm not a huge fan of that because I think time travel can open way too many difficult doors to close, but we've already had it with the Ugin and Bolas fight on Tarkir and that time travel there, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Or it's just a storytelling device exclusive to the trailer to allow the visual storytelling to breathe like I mentioned before, and if so, I think it was done in a clumsy way. I fucking love trailers, and where do I rate this trailer? Well, if it is time wibbly wobbly woo, and Teferi is somehow manipulating time, this is either an Easter egg or a foreshadowing for that, but I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Perhaps I'm biased, I'm so excited to see magic on the world stage and becoming mainstream. Apparently this was fucking trending on YouTube and has over 4.5 million views, so we mainstream now, boys. But if it's not foreshadowing, or an Easter egg, or a reference to something we're about to find out in the next week or two leading up to the release of War of the Spark, then I only give the trailer an 8. Out of 10. Only because the time forward backward thing was kind of a bit confusing. The fact that Dak wasn't in the forward time was also confusing. Yeah, I didn't really get why they used that whole method of storytelling. We also got a lot of spoilers yesterday, like a lot of spoilers. I'm not going to go through all of them. It'd take too much time, and I think some of them aren't really that exciting to talk about. Also, I'm going to talk about it a lot on stream over the course of this week, so I'm streaming 5 times this week, and there's obviously going to be more videos after this. This isn't my final video on War of the Spark, I'll have you know, but I want to highlight a couple. First of all, the buy box promo is Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, which makes it sound like he's going to bust out a sick slap-based solo somewhere between the second verse and the chorus. Whilst he's evidently strong, and I will sure as hell try to play him on this channel in some form of Prison Shell in Modern or Legacy, he does cost 6 mana, so I'm wary to overhype him. He will be popular amongst Commander players as well, because Artifact strategy are among some of the best decks in the format, so expect him to gather a bit of a price tag, more than Sunspeaker and Minotaur 2T. More than Sunspeaker, but nowhere near the price tag of Nexus, because I don't see him making that much of an impact on Standard. His uptick is literally so solid for both protecting him and doming your opponent every turn. Sure, it's half an Agent of Bolas ultimate, but on a +2 uptick, stick this dude behind an ensnaring bridge or a Child Someone and laugh your way to the jank bank. Also, he's been confirmed to be the only card in the set with affinity, which is fucking sick. I've been begging for a long time for us to see one-off mechanical returns in rare and mythic slots, so we can have easy reprints of weird cards like Infernal Tutor, for example, or perhaps less so but still important Life from the Loam into standard sets. I really hope this opens that door and we can have one-offs in other sets. Next up we have another 6-mana walker in Liliana Dreadhorde General. This card feels really pushed. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this card might be bordering on Elspeth Sun's Champion's levels of strong for standard. She starts off on a shit ton of loyalty at 6, she upticks to make a blocker to protect herself, which is a hallmark of a strong walker, and she has a static ability where when a creature you control dies, you draw a card. Let's say in theory they make a big attack to threaten her and you have to throw some 2/2s under the bus. Every single one that dies, you draw a card. That is some tasty, tasty value. Her downtick is also comparable to Elspeth Sun's Champion. Whilst it isn't a Wrath, sometimes it might as well be. Barter and Blood for 6 mana, leaving behind a Planeswalker that can make tokens next turn is pretty damn good. But the fact that when you sacrifice your own 2 creatures, you get to draw 2 cards, yeah, that's real good. Her ultimate blows up lands, so that gets me on board too. All in all, she's going to be a powerhouse. She's Card of Honor, she's removal, and she's inevitability all on a body. Just a 6 mana, relatively expensive body. She's going to be a staple in control and creature-based mid-range, I'm going to call it now. And I'm excited to cast this card in Standard and Commander, and I maybe even try and play it in Nick Fit in Legacy. Bearing in mind that when Elspeth Sun's Champion was spoiled, people told us that she was 6 mana and she was unplayable because she was too expensive. Look how that turned out. The final card I want to talk about for being busted in half is Bolas' Citadel. Yes, this is his Death Star. It appears to be an Amonkhet building he's just plain out dumped into downtown Ravnica, and I am all about that life. It also sacrifices 10 opponents to dome each opponent for 10 life. Can anybody say Death Star? But the real icing on this rather menacing looking cake comes in the form of its static abilities. You can look at and play cards from the top of your library by paying life instead of the mana costs. This is potentially very, very broken. Now in Standard or Modern I can see some brews, but nothing too exciting. In Legacy or Vintage, alongside Dark Rituals, Lion's Eye Diamonds, Tinker, Moxen, Yawgmoth's Will, Lotus Petals, Black Lotus itself, this card seems absurd. Keep in mind that since its Divining Top allows you to move the top card of your library around and make it so that hitting non-lands becomes easier. Keep in mind that the de facto go-to Storm kill in Legacy and Vintage is not actually Grape Shot, but in fact Tendrils of Agony. Gain a load of life thanks to storming off, continue to cast your deck. There is a distinct possibility that this isn't as good as Ad Nauseam lines and similar that these decks can take at the moment, but it could lead to some super interesting decks cropping up. There were some other spoilers as well. We got the new Jace, which is basically like a new version of Laboratory Maniac with inbuilt card draw and milling, which is pretty cool, and we got uncommon walkers. Now, I'm above telling you verbally that I told you so, but I'm not above writing it on this board and showing you. I fucking told you so! Oh, I wasn't going to say it! Fuck, I wasn't meant to say it! I called it. I called the Uncommon Walkers. I told you they were Uncommon Walkers. How else were they going to do it? People in the comment section of my last war video were saying, wow, it'll be a special slot in the pack. And I'm like, of course it'll be a special slot in the pack. That was not on the table for discussion. It's just like the land slot in some of the Ravnica blocks, or the time-shifted slot in Time Spiral block, or more appropriately, the double-faced slot in any of the Innistrad blocks. Ultimately, Big Daddy PK was right, and anyone who disagreed with me was wrong. Learn from this, listen to this, and buy your Microsynth Lattices now, because I think they're going to go up in price, based upon a card that's been leaked that I don't want to talk about, because I'm only going to talk about them that are officially spoiled, because I don't want to shit on any creators that are spoiling these cards. I could talk all day about spoilers, which I probably will end up doing during the stream tonight, but I'm going to save some stuff for future videos anyway. So tell me what you think. What spoiler has got you the most hyped? What are you waiting for? What do you really want to see in the next couple of weeks coming out of War of the Spark? And what do you think of that fucking trailer? Is Liliana dead? I haven't even touched upon that. She's obviously unshackling herself from Bolas through magic and shit, but is that going to kill her? Is she sacrificing herself to help the Gatewatch? Or will she just burn off the metaphorical shackles to then continue to fight? Who fucking knows at this point? Well, wizards know, but that's not the point. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. I've been Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. Like, comment, subscribe, ring my bell with both your fucking hands, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Ta-ta for now. I fucking told you. I fucking told you. Fuck the haters. I fucking told you. I should stop singing on the channel.